Chapter 6. The 5 W's. The universe is made of stories, not of atoms. Muriel Rukeyser. The Speed of Darkness. Borrowing from journalism, let's apply the 5 W's, the 5 basic questions to get to the heart of a story. Who, what, when, where, why. We'll use these as points of entry to gather information, notice details, imagine possibilities, since we are working with our intuition and imagination rather than solid facts. What we notice will reveal as much about us as it does about our subject. Pay attention. Sometimes it helps to squint your eyes to see between the lines. Photos and the 5 W's. To be a person is to have a story to tell. Isaac Dinesen. I have always been intrigued with black and white photographs, and the works of photographers such as Mary Ellen, Mark, Sally Mann, Louise Hine, Annie Leibovitz. I see faces, stark and haunting, needing, loving, hurt or happy, and human, staring directly at me through the camera's eyes. I always wonder, who are these people? What kind of life did they live? What did they struggle with? What broke them? How did they find the strength to get back up? Were they in love? Sometimes it seems as if they are seeing me as much as I am seeing them. What does it feel like to be witnessed, seen, revealed? Let's use the 5 W's to discover or imagine the story in the photo. Invitation. Gather evocative photos of people. Cut them out of magazines, use old postcards, or look in photography art books. Find some black and white photos which tend to draw you in and reveal the soul of a person. Close-ups, face shots, oddly intriguing or striking-looking people will get your creative juices flowing. The more interesting the faces, poses, clothing, or relationship between the people, the better. Just right. Choose one of the photos and use your imagination to answer the 5 W's about the person or people in the photo. Who are they? What is going on? What's the story here? When is this taking place? Where are they? Why is this happening? You can also put yourself in the photo and write about the imagined relationship you have with the person or people, how you came to be together in this moment, what you're doing, and what the story is. Example. Where am I? Sophie, 14. Rugged designs trace the circle of charred wood, crumbling and leaving dark marks on the ground. Maybe one day she'll understand. She looks up at the fiery sky, strands of clouds like veins. The char disintegrates in her palms, leaving a ghostly smudge. Circles, more and more circles, she thinks to herself. You see, she yells at the sky. Burning wood makes char, and char writes on wood, and the wood becomes notes that try to explain to me where I am. Where am I? She shovels her toes deeper into the dry ground, growing more frustrated with every passing second. No, she isn't oblivious. The most heart-wrenching part of her story is the fact that she knows exactly where she is. The clearer section of sky, the part not obstructed by smoke, gives her a perfect view of the earth. It stands directly in front of her. The vibrant green land, the glorious blue oceans, the wispy clouds. But today, she works on a dying planet. She knows she'll have a life without purpose. Long ago, the earth formed, and all the impossible puzzle pieces connected so beautifully. But now a chunk of rock has broken off, and it's floating farther and farther away, until the earth is nothing but a dot in a cold universe. Oh, she knows exactly where she is. Postcard poems. With current technology, making communication instantaneous from any place in the world to another. We rarely send or receive postcards anymore. Postcards were so much fun. They were the pictures and messages we sent our family and friends from the place we traveled to on a vacation and for work. When I was a little girl, I loved looking at the postcards my mother received from her friends all over the world. I would use the information on the postcards to make up my own stories, pretending I was a traveler. Invitation. Gather a bunch of postcards or art cards. Choose 3 to 5 cards you feel an affinity with. Look through the cards until an idea or feeling comes to you about the people or scenery on the cards. What they are doing. What's the story? Can you weave together the various pictures? Perhaps there is a similar theme, such as ocean, animals, flowers, people, or sights from other countries. Each card might carry a piece of the puzzle. For example, there could be a person on one card, a boat on another, and an abstract painting on the third. And from these, an idea arises that the person is traveling on the boat to visit the artist who painted the picture, and they meet and fall in love. Or not. It's up to you. Anything goes. Just right. Be curious. Use any clues you notice on the card, such as the stamp, the date, and the address. Read the message, if there is one, written on the back of the card. Use any or all of these details to inform your ideas and write a poem based on the information you gather from the cards. Example: The Old Man, Robert, 14. On July 23rd, an old man sat listening to the moon. He heard it howling, crying for its mother. The old man went to the town square and walked past the white marble fountain. He put his feet in the fountain to cool off before lunch. He spent the rest of the day sitting by the fountain, feeding pigeons and talking to tourists. When night came, he went to the theater and completely forgot about the moon's crying. Later at home, in bed, he listened and found that the moon had stopped crying. The old man smiled at his secret power. Morning news. The newspaper is a revealing record of who we are and how we function as a society. It reports the best and the worst of us. Our wars, our crimes against ourselves and each other, personal and public injustices, scientific and artistic accomplishments, inventions, sports, entertainment, current trends, items of human interests, politics, personal opinions. Some mornings the news makes me cry. I always wonder why the majority of articles are about tragedy and misfortune, and what this does to our understanding of the human condition. How does this affect our self-concept and our perspective of others in relation to others? Does it help us to see our commonalities and have greater compassion for one another? Or does it perpetuate an us or them ethos? What would it be like to have a whole newspaper focused on our victories, shared accomplishments, and acts of kindness? Invitation. Read through a newspaper, a magazine, or an internet news feed. Choose something that catches your attention. It could be a photo, an advertisement, a news article, an obituary, a want ad. Just right. Using the information provided in the graphic or text you choose, apply the 5 W's and write about the feelings and images that arise in response to what you see or read. It can be something you learn or something you imagine about the people involved, or you can relate it to your own life. Example: Mama Simba, Olivia, 14. I am Mama Simba, people lover. In life I value many things, but my family always comes first. Here in Botswana, we don't live a charmed life, but that doesn't matter to me. The happiness of my children and my husband is what matters most. Color fills my life. It lifts me up when I am down. The whole world around me is full of life and color. It keeps me feeling good. I am the village teacher. In a one-room schoolhouse, all the children flock here to learn and play together. Today I am journeying for food, money, and more work. My brother comes with me. We will do whatever it takes to make ends meet, to save our family, to save the schoolhouse, to save the community. I will fight for what is right. I will fight for what is necessary. And one day, when I am no longer here, I hope these battles will be no longer needed. I hope there will be no more war, no more anger, no more greed, just peace, happiness, and harmony. I am Mama Simba, people lover. Still life. One of the first things I learned in drawing class is to observe. Before you sketch, hash, shade, paint, or blend, you simply observe. Let your eye follow the lines, witness the natural relationship between shapes, and understand the conversation between form and space. Only then can you do justice to what you are capturing on paper. Let's see if we can do this with our poetry. Invitation. Collect an assortment of objects such as an apple, a pine cone, a glass figurine, a flute, a shell, a feather, a toothbrush, a small potted plant, an old book, a toy plane, a seed pod, a crystal. Grab anything that calls to you. The weirder or even the more ordinary, the better. Arrange the objects on a table. Now take some time to simply observe these objects. What do they really look like? If you're looking at an apple, don't think about what you know about an apple. Rather, look at this apple and experience its appleness. What relationship do you notice between the different objects? What conversations are happening between space and form? To enrich your experience of the objects, you might want to touch some of them, feel their texture and weight. Use beginner's mind as if this were the first time you are experiencing the object. Smell some of the objects, such as the apple, the old book, or whatever objects you have chosen. Explore all the objects in relation to one another, or single out a few that really speak to you. Just right. Look at the objects and apply the 5 W's until you know about the story of each shape, color, texture, curve, and shadow. Get a feel for the story of the relationship between the objects. Write about the objects as though you were sketching them for an art class, as if seeing them for the first time. Allow the objects to reveal themselves to you. Let them tell their story, and perhaps more of your own story. Example: Still life comes to life. Amelia, 15. She puts a seashell to my ear. I smile as the tides echo through my head. She wears an amethyst pendant, crowns me with a circlet of pine cones, and a wreath of beads washed up from a boat that sank ages ago. She puts a bird's nest in my palm, and I feel the coarse weave, constructed from days of constant work by 2 feathered sprites. I did not hear their song. Her teeth crunch into a red apple, juice running down her chin. She smells of salt and bones. Washed clean by the sea, she turns to me with ocean on her lips and makes me see. She turns my head to watch the sun bleed slowly into the waves. She is the Queen of Spades, a playing card washed on shore, and I pick up and put in my pocket, and later place under my pillow to dream.